Hey everyone, I'm Jeremy Parsons.
And I'm Makonjovu.
Welcome to the biggest night in television. The 72nd Primetime Emmy Awards are less than 1 hour away, everybody. Here we go. Excited to be here. Guess what?
What time?
Got a little bubbly. This is a risky move. We're doing this, really doing this live. Mako, while I do this, does it feel good to get dressed up?
It really does. After spending so much time at home, it feels good to be here with you. Here we go, Jeremy.
And?
I'm ready.
Hold on.
Surprises.
Well, let's see.
Here we go.
Woo! There we go. Oh, it's doing the thing.
Those bubbles.
Get that glass,
all right,
Mako,
guys.
one for you.
So this year's Emmys obviously have a very different vibe. How are we feeling tonight, Jeremy, about this?
I'm feeling good. You know what? I feel like there is kind of a collective sense of anticipation in a new way. Again, same feeling that we had before about, man, it feels good to get dressed up and to kind of have something to celebrate. We've all, you know, sort of been in this wild, bizarre time.
Yeah.
And I think there's something about having a night like tonight where we can sort of in some ways escape and forget about some of the bad things that are happening and just have a night to celebrate the shows that we love. We've been binging a lot.
Ah, so good, right?
And it's nice to get these things rewarded and awarded.
Cheers to the awarding and the rewarding.
There we go.
It feels really good.
Cheers. Look me in the eye.
All right, here you go.
There we go. Feeling good here. But this is a truly unprecedented year. While Emmys night usually brings everyone together in Los Angeles at the Microsoft Theater, we're going to see some of TV's biggest stars celebrating virtually this time. Breaking down the numbers here, we're going to see 138 stars from 114 locations across 10 countries. So it's unprecedented in many ways here for the Emmys.
Think about the time zones and like how everyone's staying awake to see it. So I can't wait to see that. And the man of the hour, the man who is hosting this very different Emmys is Mr. Jimmy Kimmel. Now he's hosted twice before, but really no amount of prior experience could have really prepared him for this year's gig.
Nothing to do it, but you know, I think he's up for the challenge.
Yeah.
He's good at doing this.
Yeah.
People Senior TV writer Emily Strom spoke to Jimmy leading up to the show as he prepped for a virtual ceremony with no audience. Take a look at this.
It's harder and a completely different ball game. It is it literally kind of like a ball game in a way. It's like, what do you do? You know, there's no audience. It's different. You know, I'm sure the athletes feel that, and as a comedian, getting no laughs, which is certainly something I've become accustomed to even in front of audiences, is it's tough. That's the measure of whether something was funny or not. So the challenge is how to make it feel like not all the jokes are bombing. You know, when you're at home and you don't hear laughs for a live award show, you can't explain this to everyone watching. So you just need to figure out a way to be nimble and move through the show without waiting for applause or laughs or any of that stuff we've become accustomed to.
Will you essentially be like solo in the Staples Center?
No, well, I mean, we'll have a skeleton crew there, and we may have some people show up. We're hopeful that people risk their lives for the amusement of America.
Okay. I know some people will be wondering if your buddy Matt will be one of those people.
I don't have any friends named Matt.
It's a no-go, huh? Maybe an acquaintance, a guy some people may have heard of with the last name.
I have an enemy named Matt, if that's what you're asking, and he's not invited to be a part of anything I'm involved with. So.
Yes. Well, that didn't seem to stop him last time, so.
This time we have more security in place.
Once you kind of realized that this was going on, this was going to happen, you know, other than the general, like, how are we going to do this? What other reservations did you have, or, you know, when it comes to like putting this thing on?
Well, the big one is it appropriate to give awards to actors and directors and writers during a time when people who are doing more important work should be honored? And I think we've arrived at a way to do both of those things. So, you know, we definitely want to keep what's important in mind, and what's important right now is the health of the people in this country, and people who are leading that are obviously the people who are, you know, wearing masks to work every day and doing these jobs that are so important. So we will spread the glory around. I think it's going to be a fun show to watch for them. And listen, people always say like, oh, these award shows, they're all the same. Well, I'll tell you what, this one isn't going to be the same. This one's going to be different.
Kimmel there rocking the ball cap t-shirt. Look, he's obviously going to dress it up for the Emmys. I love that every year in his opening monologue, Jimmy Kimmel always kind of pokes fun at the people there and at the show itself. I think we'll see some of that self-deprecation going on tonight.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. And you know what else I love? I love the fact that they're going to be paying tribute to the first responders and the people that worked really hard during this pandemic. That means a lot. They're the real stars.
Absolutely. No, they're definitely deserving. For sure.
Very deserving. Now, I'm sure all of tonight's nominees and stars will be cheering Jimmy on, leading everyone through the night virtually. It's gotta be a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure in a weird way because it is kind of an empty room. But Entertainment Weekly senior TV editor Jared Hall caught up with an all-star group of multi-Emmy nominees, including Dan Levy, Wanda Sykes, Rami Youssef, Giancarlo Esposito, Maya Rudolph, and Angela Bassett to get their take. Watch this.
Do you think it will be added pressure on Jimmy Kimmel as host this year? Like, do you feel like he's going to have to do more to make this special?
Absolutely. That's going to be a tough room. Yeah.
Certainly.
He's looking for, if he needs feedback, some positive reinforcement.
It's a timing thing too. I feel like he's working with like weird lags and feedback, and so the timing of everything is kind of an obstacle in and of itself.
Yeah.
It is, but I think if anyone can do it, it's Jimmy. He has that personality to bring people together. And I think it's one thing I'm happy about is I have a really huge family. And of course, I have 4 daughters and other folks who represent us. And it would be wonderful to have a party where we could all be together and be in a more relaxed fashion. And so that I'm very excited about it. It allows us to have a more home feeling. I think it's going to be an interesting year, but I think we're all looking to make it fun.
Yeah.
It's also kind of nicer if you lose because all you have to do is just log out.
Right.
Just like,
exactly.
I'm just like, got this shit. I don't need to. It's easier. That's way easier than having to like walk around.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Hey, congrats, man. That's really dope. Like you just shut the computer.
With the camera in your face.
Yeah. By the end of the night, it's just like empty black squares on a virtual frame.
Just have your snacks, You win, you're really in the restroom, you're really at in the refrigerator. Just, you're supposed to be. Don't be too laxed. Laying on the couch. Hey!
The one thing I will miss is it's such a great opportunity to see all of your peers and friends and folks that you've worked with. And that I will miss. I don't know. I'm hoping that in some way they have the ability to sort of put people up so we can see each other, because not only are some of our friends in the same categories nominated with us and you're wishing them the best, but you get a chance to sort of be with folks that you haven't seen in a long time, and it's always fun to do that. So I'm hoping there's some way they can figure that out.
That is fun. When you're at an awards show, you like run into someone you love, like at the bathroom. It'd be cool if they had like a Zoom bathroom that we could have at the thing, just to kind of like, hey, can I borrow something? That'd be dope.
Yeah.
A Zoom bar, going to get your glass of champagne, that kind of thing. Yeah, exactly.
All right, now, one show getting a lot of love at this year's Emmy Awards is the Ryan Murphy Netflix series Hollywood.
Yes.
It's so good. The 7-episode drama is a behind-the-scenes look at 1940s Tinseltown. It's glamorous, sexy, and intense at times. It is truly one of my favorite shows.
It's one of those breakouts that had so many people buzzing. The first season dropped in May, and it earned 12 Emmy nominations, including nods for actors Jeremy Pope, Jim Parsons, Holland Taylor, and Dylan McDermott.
Now, PeopleTV's Andrea Belke caught up with Dylan to talk about his nomination this year. Enjoy this.
I am here with Dylan McDermott, who is nominated for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Limited Series or Movie for his role as Ernie in Hollywood. Congratulations, Dylan. How's it going? How are you feeling?
Wow. I mean, there's so much going on, obviously. The amount of emotion every day is crazy. And then to have this, an Emmy nomination on top of everything else is just like so, I mean, it's the craziest year ever.
Yeah, and not your first rodeo, though. It has been a minute, though. You were nominated for an Emmy for The Practice in 1999. I'm curious if you could put it into perspective. How does this nomination feel for you now at this point in your career compared to that one?
Yeah, I think when you're young, you expect things to keep happening. And so this time is so much sweeter because I know how hard it is to be a successful actor. I know that there's so many ups and downs, and and many, many years, as they did for me, 21 years roll by, and without a nomination. And then all of a sudden, you keep doing the work, you keep showing up, you keep talking to yourself, and you keep getting better, and miracles happen.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so deserving though. I told you the last time I talked to you that I didn't even recognize you when I watched. I had to go back and say, wait, oh, that's Dylan. So Ernie is so brilliant. What would an Emmy win for this role in particular mean to you?
So much, number one, but I think mostly because it's Ryan Murphy. I think that if I did get to win and it was for a Ryan Murphy show, it would make it all the better, because really he's been such an advocate of mine for so many years now. Over 10 years we've worked together. So I think that alone would really make it so special. Because Ernie is such a wild character, I'm curious, how would he celebrate an Emmy win? Oh my God, Ernie? That would be the great. I wish I was Ernie and winning an Emmy, because that would be epic. I mean, that guy would be out for days. I mean, he would be partying and just celebrating and living it up like no one else. So he would do it right. 4 of you are nominated from Hollywood, which is really exciting. Yourself, Jeremy Pope, Jim Parsons, and Holland Taylor. I'm curious if you got to talk to them since the nominations. I mean, were you able to celebrate virtually? Have you spoken to them? I texted a little bit with Jeremy, and I reached out to Holland. So yeah, it's incredible actors on this show. I mean, everybody on this show deserves to be nominated. Just incredible. Going to work every day was just like, wow. The amount of talent that was on that set was mind-blowing. Yeah, has there been any friendly competition between you and Jim Parsons? Both competing in the same category, both incredible actors. No. I mean, Jim is a remarkable actor. I mean, he's genius in this role too. So, I think that we're all, and I love doing. We had only one scene together, and I really liked that scene between the two of us, because I think we got the pages that morning. Like when we walked into the makeup trailer, we got the pages to do the scene. So we had literally like 2 hours to learn it. Wow. So Hollywood is all about the journey of these young actors trying to make it. I mean, you've obviously made it already, but I want to know, what's the next ultimate dream for you? Is there someone that you really want to work with who you haven't before? A next role, a project? Hollywood hasn't been picked up for season 2 yet. Hopefully it will. I really like the idea of creating a new character every season. So I think that Hollywood would really explore that for me, that I would create a completely different guy, hopefully, if we got the chance to do it. That's exciting to me, because I'm now in a phase of my career where I really like to do the character work that I've never been able to do before. I did it a little bit in Wonderland and the Clove Hitch Killer in Hollywood, but now I really want to dive into those characters. Like you said, quite a few people text me or called me up and said, I didn't even know it was you. And to me, that's the biggest compliment you can give me, because I like to completely disappear. Congratulations, Dylan, and thank you so much for chatting with us today. Always. Thank you so much. Be safe.
Jeremy, I'm rooting for season 2.
Can we just call it out? Yeah. You and every lady on our staff talking about Dylan McDermott getting better with age.
Aging like fine wine.
There we go. Dylan's Hollywood co-star Jeremy Pope, also nominated tonight for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited Series for his portrayal of screenwriter Archie Coleman.
Now, he spoke to Entertainment Weekly's digital writer Maureen Lee Lenker about working with Ryan Murphy and one of his very first scenes on set.
Explain yourself. What do you want me to say? I can remember the feeling of shooting that scene only because it was one of the, first scenes that we shot for Hollywood, and I was working with Ryan. I was a bit anxious and nervous because there was just a lot of new things that I was experiencing and wanting to show up prepared. And we had spent maybe like 2 hours doing wide coverage and kind of shooting different things. And Ryan is a man of few words on set, so you kind of like checking in just to be like, am I good or am I trash? Like, just let me know which direction to go in. And he wasn't really saying much, but he was like, you're fine. It's just other thing. He kept saying other things. Like, you could tell something was off, but I didn't really know what it was. And about that third hour, we were starting to do some coverage and close-ups. And he came in very politely and was like, we're done for today. And I was like, okay. So No one asked any questions. He was like, it's just not working. I need to rework the scene. I see it differently in my head. So I left, and me and David, who was my scene partner for that, we just kind of were like, what's going on? I don't really know. So we went to the trailer. I'm taking my wig off, makeup. I'm making dinner plans with friends. As I'm getting in my car to like back out, the PA is running out like, just kidding, Ryan wants to do the scene now. And I was like, okay, but we came back, he had reworked the scene, re-envisioned it, repositioned us. But really it was just a testament of Ryan he knows exactly what he wants, and he takes time to articulate that and to create that. And I appreciated him, especially being that this is the introduction of Archie. He wanted it to be a specific way and to be very clear. And it wasn't that way when we started it. So he was willing to take the L, if you will, and reschedule the whole day just so we can make that moment right.
Man, he's great and so strong.
Yeah.
So strong in that
and
role.
so handsome. Sorry, I just had to go there. He's cute.
Keep going.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's see how some of our favorite stars are getting ready for Emmys Day, which is a little different this time around.
Yeah, it is. Let's start with Blackish star and outstanding lead actress in a comedy nominee, Tracee Ellis Ross.
My favorites.
Oh my gosh, love her, who's having a little bit of trouble with her couture. Take a look.
Good night.
When she first posted that, I thought that was just, it's so great. She's my favorite, one of my favorite people of all Emmys, mainly because her and I connected over our fiddle leaf figs earlier during COVID. Anyway.
Little humble brag.
Yeah, there we go, drop that in. Is that a brag? I don't know. Or sad. Another show that we love, HBO's Insecure. You're all about this show.
Oh my God, guys, I love this show. And even though the Emmys aren't happening in person this year, Insecure creator and star Issa Rae promises it's still gonna be good.
It's Emmy morning. It's going down. I don't care if there's not a ceremony today. It's going down.
It's
kind of
going down.
Subdued reaction.
Right.
It's going to be interesting to see during the show how excited people get when they take the win. Issa nominated tonight for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series, while Insecure earned 8 nominations total, including its first for Outstanding Comedy Series.
I mean, it's due. It's time.
Yeah.
Issa's co-star Yvonne Orji is also celebrating her first nomination for her role as Molly. Now, this past season, we saw a different side of Molly as she navigated a rough patch with her best friend, played by Issa Rae.
Here, Yvonne weighs in on the ups and downs of Molly's storyline. Watch this.
Well, this was a very hard season for Molly. God bless her. I was shocked by how quickly people forgot how much of a good person, and specifically a good friend that she is. It took one episode, the first episode of season 4, and everyone was like, ugh, this is why you gotta get rid of the Mollys in your life. Get rid of the Mollys in your life? What did she do? And then it was just like the chatter's like, some of y'all are upset because you're discovering that you're the Molly in your friend group. I was like, this feels very attacky, and I don't think she deserves this. As the actor playing this character, I take offense. And then the nomination came out, and then the comments were like, yeah, I guess you deserve that because you really made half of us hate you. Guys, one that really stuck out was Yvonne Orji should be glad that we're stuck at home in this pandemic, because if we saw her in the street, it may not end well for her and Molly. I was like, is this a threat? Don't tempt me with a good time. Don't you tempt me with a good time. They took a lot of the storyline, and particularly my character, to new levels this season, and people really got their feelings hurt.
But I can't be the only one who wants to make this work, Molly.
I don't know, maybe who you are now and who I am now just don't fit anymore. But I think what we're discovering is we knew the crux of the relationship was Issa and Molly. And with this season kind of putting that in jeopardy, it was like, well, can it stand? You know, can it withstand the pressure? And that's what we were trying to figure out. Like, are your relationships for just a season, or are they for a lifetime? And if so, are you willing to do the work that it takes to make them solid and make them good and make them fun and heal them? And it was a journey, and I think it still is. I love that the show is tackling what friendships look like. It's tackling sometimes how friendship relationships are more detrimental than romantic relationships, and on both sides. You know, my hope for season 5, selfishly, I just want Molly to be happy. Like, I want her to find happiness with herself, probably first. That's self-love, self-care. And then, like, I want her to find happiness with everything else. Like, in season 4, she wasn't happy with work. She wasn't happy with Issa. She wasn't happy in love. And it's like, girl, like, stay in therapy. Like, no. It's like, sit and stay a while. Like, one session does not prove anything.
I need to take a sip of my champagne because I hated to see them fight. It felt like my parents were divorcing.
Right? It was like heart-wrenching.
It was heartbreaking. So I personally can't wait to see the next season of Insecure, which is hopefully coming soon. If this Instagram from Issa Rae this week is any indication. Now, I see 2 scripts there, a virtual table read. Guys, season 5 is coming.
501, 502, there we go. And tune in to see if Yvonne, Issa, and the cast of Insecure become Emmy winners tonight. It all starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on ABC. Of course.
So exciting. But first, we've put together an all-star group of experts to predict who they think might walk away a winner tonight.
Entertainment Weekly's Jared Hall, along with People's senior TV editor Brianne L. Heldman, Entertainment Weekly's executive editor Sarah Rodman, and TV critic Darren Franich gave us their predictions. Take a look.
Well, thanks to all of you for joining me for what I'm sure is going to be a fantastic and lovely conversation. So let's dive right in, shall we? First up, we are talking about the outstanding lead actress nominees in both the drama and the comedy categories. Sarah Rodman, we'll start with you. Who do you think are the front runners for these 2 categories tonight?
So I believe, and I am also hopeful, that Jennifer Aniston is going to win. We have discussed this before. I'm a Staniston. And so I loved her so much in this that I desperately want it for her. And then in the comedy category, I think that Catherine O'Hara, while fantastic, will also be having sort of a legacy situation, helping her usher her into her win this year. I feel like people will want to put like a lifetime cap on it with this award.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brianne, how about you?
I could not agree with both of those picks more. I think totally Catherine O'Hara is wonderful. I think Issa Rae is amazing too and really deserves it, but Catherine's going to get it for that legacy reason as well. And Aniston was amazing. There's no question.
So good.
Mm-hmm. Darren, are you going to make it 3 for 3?
Disagree with everything. Much as I love all the people you were talking about, I'm whatever the Stan version of Laura Linney is. I'm a Laura Stanny, and I do think that Ozark is a show that a lot of people have been discovering in a time when there is very little about the world to discover, except for very bad things. And I gotta say, I feel like this is Issa Rae's year in a lot of ways. I think the return of Insecure was a big moment for her while she was doing so much other stuff. So I'm thinking that she is going to pull out the win in the comedy category.
All right, shaking things up there, Darren. I do have to say, if Catherine O'Hara wins, I would love to see her accept as Moira Rose.
Yes.
That would just be like an amazing moment of the night. She loves her award shows, after all. All right, let's move on to the outstanding lead actor nominees again, talking about both drama and comedy categories. Darren, who do you think is virtually walking away with the statues?
This is kind of the one where I think the general outpouring of Schitt's Creek love is going to create the kind of legacy win that Sarah was talking about. Everyone loves Eugene Levy. Multiple generations of comedy people love him, so I think he wins the comedy series. And then over in the best lead actor in a drama category, a lot of big names here. I think Bateman might pull it out just as part of the overall Ozark train that I am conjuring up out of nowhere here. But I actually think this could be another big win for Brian Cox in Succession. I think that's a show that a lot of people have really appreciated, and he's such a big King Lear part of it.
He certainly has some momentum. Sarah, who are you going for?
So I believe that my Ted Danson love is known far and wide, and I believe that the legacy love that you were talking about for Eugene Levy, which I don't disagree exists, but I think Ted Danson's. Am I a Ted Stanson? I think I am.
Making up another term here. I love this.
It's terrible. So, and I just love The Good Place so much. But I do agree on Brian Cox. I feel like also in that second season, he just roared more as the lion in this show, and I feel like people will want to reward that of that group of people.
Mm-hmm. Very showy piece. Brianne, whose side are you on here?
I think I'm a Sarah Rodman stan, to be honest with you, because we have all the same picks.
Rod stan.
I think it's Ted Danson's. Absolutely love him, love The Good Place, and I think the acting categories are where it's going to get its wins.
Outstanding comedy series. 8 nominees here. Brianne, what series has your pick for the win tonight?
This is such a good category. I can't get over it. Certainly there's some momentum behind The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. It has a bajillion nominations. It was the winner in 2018. The 2019 winner, Fleabag, is not eligible this year. So my pick is for Schitt's Creek.
I am going to manifest a win for Insecure. I don't know how good its chances are, but Darren, I actually think that Catherine O'Hara is going to win that actress trophy, and the show is going to win for the show. I just feel like it was such a good year for the show, but I do believe that Schitt's Creek is definitely the spoiler here.
Gotcha. Darren, you're up.
This is tough for me because I am both a Rod stan and a Held stan. So I really want both of you to be right. So I'll just split the difference and say that What We Do in the Shadows, which I think has surprised a lot of people in this category. I think a lot of people who hadn't seen it before kind of discovered it after it got all the Emmy nominations, and it is so funny and so absurd. So it is the darkest of the dark horses, assuming that Schitt's Creek doesn't win, which it probably will.
I'm feeling a lot of like vibes coming off of all of you, putting your picks out into the universe. I love it. All right, 8 more series nominated for Outstanding Drama. Sarah, who are you going with for the big category?
It's Succession. I feel like there actually isn't even though there are 8 nominees and many of them are shows I like very much, I just feel like this one is like not a contest. I just feel like Succession is going to win. And it's a weird time to be rewarding old rich white people. I mean, it's sort of going against the grain of the vibe of the globe at the moment, but I still think they're going to win.
Yeah. All right, Brianne, where are you laying on this one?
I think Ozark is going to give it a little bit of a run for its money, but it's Succession.
Darren?
Everything else has gone wrong this year, so unfortunately I think The Mandalorian is going to win, which will just be truly the cherry on top of this awful year for me personally. All that said, yet again, I feel like I have to split the difference here because I do think Ozark and Succession have an equal chance. I just feel like Ozark is the show that people keep on discovering. The fact that a lot of people, it's nominated for its 3rd season, but I think a lot of people kind of this year were going back and rediscovering the early seasons to go along with it. So I think that momentum may carry it forward to the best drama win.
For this last one, to wrap it up, I want to hear everyone's wild card pick of the night. Your pick of who you think hands down should walk away with an Emmy. Brianne, you're up first.
Darcy Carden for Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy for The Good Place. It was an outrageous oversight last year when she didn't get the nomination. This is the first time she's gotten the nomination. She is so amazing as Janet, and she deserves some hardware for it.
Hands down on board with that one. Sarah?
Also on board with that. And here's my crazy wild card pick. I think that it's possible that Giancarlo Esposito is going to win in the Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama category because the man is in everything. Better Call Saul, The Mandalorian, everywhere you turn, there he is. And I think people love him, and I think people might want to give him that award this year.
Watchmen should win everything it's nominated for in the limited series categories, but especially this is a great year for the Outstanding Limited Series category. I think a lot of potential good victors there, but Watchmen was just so transformative. What a series. It feels like it's still the best show of 2020, even though it aired in 2019. So I'm really pulling for that show to pull out some big wins in the limited series categories.
I like all of these picks, and you guys have made it tough to fill out a ballot. that is Brianne, Sarah, and Darren. This has been so much fun. Thank you for all your picks and your insight.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of love for Watchmen. We'll see what happens. This week, the Television Academy got a head start on handing out this year's Creative Arts Emmy Awards. Stars have been celebrating their wins virtually,
including Jamie Foxx, who is one proud father after his 26-year-old daughter, Corinne, won for Outstanding Variety Special. He posted their celebration on Instagram. Check it out.
Oh, celebration, celebration. Somebody just won an Emmy. My beautiful daughter, Corinne Marie Foxx, all grown up, and she is an Emmy winner for Live in front of a studio audience for Good Times. Ooh, celebration. Daddy dog time is what love is all about. You won an Emmy. You won an Emmy. Yeah.
Come on, celebration.
I love that.
Right? Maya Rudolph is also celebrating her first ever Emmy win.
Yeah, she took home Outstanding Character Voiceover Performance for her role as Connie, the hormone monstrous, you know and love her, in Netflix's Big Mouth. This was her reaction. Watch.
Thank you, Television Academy, for letting me win this Emmy. I'm so grateful because I have never won an Emmy before. It's a very wonderful feeling. I think that it will be better if I won more Emmys.
Yes, absolutely perfect. Maya also won Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series this week for playing Senator Kamala Harris on Saturday Night Live.
And another win for SNL last night. Eddie Murphy won his first Emmy for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series for his hosting gig on SNL. Back in December, he brought back some of his iconic SNL characters when he hosted for the first time in 35 years.
A big moment.
Big moment. Here's his acceptance speech.
Thank you to everybody at the Emmys. Thank you so much for giving me an Emmy. I don't have an Emmy. This is 40 years since I started Saturday Night Live. This is my first Emmy, so thank you so much. And I want to thank Lorne Michaels for putting this whole thing together and making this happen. And I want to thank the cast and the writers and the crew at SNL. This was a very, very special thing for me to come back and to have the show turn out the way it did. I'm still floating from it, and thank you to everybody for giving me an Emmy.
Congrats, Eddie, but is that his house or hotel lobby?
That's the question. Saturday Night Live has been a television staple for nearly 45 years. It's no surprise it's been getting a lot of love this week, including an outstanding variety sketch series win for the 4th year in a row. Congrats.
And one of the funny guys responsible for making us laugh so hard is Keenan Thompson, who's been with SNL for a whopping 17 seasons. He's the longest tenured cast member in the show's history.
He's always Keenan from All That for me. You know, nominated tonight for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series, Keenan told us what keeps him coming back year after year. Watch.
Lauren keeps me coming back. It's an honor to keep being asked back. So I just kind of look at it like that. But also, it's a one of a kind show, and pretty much everybody I've seen that's left, when they come back, it's just a different feeling for them. They feel kind of lost and they miss it. You know what I mean? They're just outside of the inside jokes type of feeling, and I don't know. I never really was overly excited to be on the other side of that fence necessarily, only because I was on the other side of that fence before I even started there. I know what it's like to just go out in the world and be working, project by project or audition by audition and stuff like that. And, I'm just not in a hurry to get back to that. But also, I just love the people there. I love the spontaneity of it. I love creating new characters or new shows every single week. It just keeps me on my toes and my mind. I just feel super sharp and super fresh when we're in the middle of a season. And yeah, I don't know. It's just it's my pleasure to go there and be stressed out. You know what I mean? Because I just admire it so much. I admire the lineage of it so much, the legacy of it. And, the alumni is, an incredible group of people. And I'm very, very close with, 17 years worth of that. So I kind of want to keep it going. And what would it take for me to step away? Honestly, I think if I just wasn't able to do it time-wise, that would kind of be the only thing. Or if they just needed more room for new cast members to come through. But right now, I'm not in anybody's way, so that feels good. And it's also nice to, be able to work with the younger cast members and them keeping me young and keeping me on my toes as far as, what comedy sounds like to young ears. So that's cool.
All right, let's keep things moving with the family that just made Emmys history.
This Is Us actor Ron Cephas Jones won Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series, and on Thursday night, his daughter Jasmine won for her work on Quibi's Free Rayshawn. Congrats to them.
Congrats to them. This makes them the first Emmy-winning father-daughter duo in the same year. I'm
really
so
cool.
happy for them. Entertainment Weekly's digital writer Maureen Lee Lenker spoke to them just before their wins about how special it was to even be nominated at the same time.
The first time I'm nominated for an Emmy, and I get to, share it with my dad, who introduced me to theater at, a very, very young age. It's a very full circle type thing. And, this stuff happens once in a blue moon, once in a lifetime type thing. And it's just really, really special. It's definitely a very, very special moment in time right now.
It's very hard for me not to get choked up when I see my daughter and I together at this point. it's hard to speak from an actor's point of view. I'm a parent looking at my child most of the time, so it's very hard to speak from the heart. I can't find the words, but exactly what Jasmine said, and it's a special, rare, and unique moment that even early on I had visions of.
All right, moving on. Mrs. America centers around the political movement to pass the Equal Rights Amendment. 4 of its stars, Kate Blanchett, Uzo Aduba, Tracy Ullman, and Margot Martindale, received Emmy nods for their roles.
Yeah, co-host of People, the TV show, Kay Adams, chatted with Margot about just how special it was to receive her 6th Emmy nomination.
Congratulations on the Emmy nomination. You are a 3-time Emmy winner for previous performances, of course, in The Americans and Justified.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. What would a win mean for you this year with this role?
Well, being nominated this year was just plenty for me. I mean, it was thrilling to be in the game again. And I love all the women in the category. So being nominated is winning for me right now.
I went back and I watched your Emmy wins from previous years, all 3. You're very humble. You're honestly so thrilled. It's wonderful to see. And maybe we'll get you back on a virtual stage this weekend. How did you prepare to play this role? Bella is a real person. I'm sure it's different.
Well, I did about 2 months of, diving into videos and speeches and dialect, a lot of dialect, and trying to get in the head of her and understand where she's coming from, and to speed up my own rhythm, which is completely opposite from Bella's. So I did a lot of research and I did a lot of work. And, sometimes it really pays off. And I think maybe, for me, I feel like I accomplished what I wanted to.
It certainly paid off, and you knocked it out of the park. You nailed it, and so did the all-star cast around you. All women, everyone from Kate Blanchett, Tracy Ullman, Sarah Paulson. What was that experience like being on set with so many powerhouse actresses?
Fantastic. It was more fun than you could even imagine. And each and every one of them, and hopefully me, was so supportive of each other and lifted each other up and wished for the best in everyone. We were all there to make the best thing that we could. It was a kind of a thrilling, unusual experience.
I love it. The series itself brought some nominations, Outstanding Limited Series. If the show does take home a win, who's the person who's throwing the party? How is the cast celebrating? Is there a Zoom fiesta going on?
I guess there'd be a Zoom fiesta. I guess that's all it can be, right?
Who's most likely to be the one?
We really would, we haven't really gotten to celebrate anything together. And we did a lot of celebrating while we were working. So it would be so much fun to be together with all of them again. We've Zoomed, but we've had Zoom cocktails.
Okay.
Of course, some cocktails are California time and some are New York time.
Hey,
you understand what I'm saying?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Absolutely. I have to ask you, who in the cast, it's loaded with star talent, who's the one who's sending the Zoom invite out? Who is like, let's party? Who's the party animal of the group?
I would say, can't remember who did the first one. It might have been Sarah, might have been Ari, it might have been Rose. It wasn't me, because I have never done an invite because I don't know how. I just wait to be invited.
I like that. That's your role. You show up and you crush it. I love that. Okay, so let's talk Emmys. You're on a Zoom call with us right now. What is the setup going to be? Are you dressing up? Are you dressing just from the waist up? How are you handling it?
I don't know what I'm doing yet. I really don't. I don't know. I know my daughter's going to dress up, so that's fun. I think it's going to be fun. It's actually going to be different, and it's such a different time that, to be able to celebrate at all is just like a big win, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's such a, we've been through a lot.
It's a bizarre time, definitely. If you had a lesson, we're all socially distanced, we've all really gone through it these past 6 months, 2020 as a whole. What's been your one lesson or something that you've learned about yourself during this time?
I think what I've learned about myself and about how to live is to stop being afraid. Fear is the most crippling thing I can imagine. Being quiet for a long time really lets you contemplate the void. So I've learned that I want to live this moment.
Love that. I'm looking forward to your acceptance speech. Wink, wink at the Emmys, of course. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Big fan of her perspective. This year, Bradley Whitford is up for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series for his role on The Handmaid's Tale. He won for the same role last year in the Outstanding Guest Actor category.
Here, Bradley tells us what that role means to him.
I feel so lucky for the acting opportunities I've gotten in my life, but there is no question to me that this particular character is the most complicated and unpredictable and fun, weirdly fun, because it's very, very dark stuff, but there is so much contradiction in this guy. Usually as an actor, you're sort of, when you're trying to play somebody, you're sort of narrowing the aperture of what they are. And this really kind of changed my thinking about, instead of zeroing in on a character, sort of finding the contradictions. And so I think I'm a little harder on him than the fans are, but I think he offers this possible kind of ray of light.
She does have strong claws, that one.
And the brilliant thing about this show is that a lesser show would have a character like the commander who has an epiphany and becomes an unreserved champion of June. And that would be a disservice to the difficulty and the complexity of what a character like June actually has to negotiate. And I really appreciate that about the show. In order to serve June, at every turn, they make sure that her obstacles are as substantial and complex as people who have actually been in that position. And I think the writer's room is very clear about that, and I really appreciate that.
All right, an actor's first Emmy nomination is huge, and it's even more special when you can share it with a good friend and a co-star.
That's exactly what happened for unorthodox stars Shiraz and Amit Rahav. The 4-episode Netflix series received 8 nominations, including Outstanding Limited Series and Outstanding Lead Actress in a Limited Series or Movie. They were so excited by the news, Amit even filmed their reaction and posted it on the gram.
Shira spoke to Entertainment Weekly's digital writer Rachel Yang about that exact moment. Watch.
I was with Amit, who plays Yankee. I think you probably saw the video.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everyone does. And we were like, this is such a once in a lifetime maybe experience to be maybe nominated, to be together. We're very good friends for already like 10 years. So we decided to just film it. And then it happened and we were freaking out. And yeah, we were very happy.
Unorthodox. I think that video made fans realize, like, wait, you guys know each other? Like, you're friends? How far do you guys go back? Did you guys go to school together? Like, what's the history?
So we know each other for like 10 years. We had mutual friends and we've met at like a party or something and we immediately had this bonding. He's the funniest person ever. That's a fun fact because you don't see it from Yankee, I think.
Oh, no.
Well, look who's talking, right? And we're very good friends and we always said we should do a project together one day. And then like 10 years later, it happened. Yeah.
Did you guys know that you were auditioning both for the show or the series?
I had like the audition, and then they came to Israel. Also, Maria Schreider, the director, and Alexa, the creator. And after it was almost official that got the role, I had like this chemistry tests with some Yankees and with Yaels and with Bobby. And one of them was Amit, and it was obviously just the best and the most amazing one. And we knew it was going to happen. We talked on the phone the night before. We might even do our lines together the night before. And yeah, it worked great because he's such an amazing actor, but we also have this chemistry as friends, so it's always helpful. Yeah.
My wife buzzed through that series in one night. So let's move on to this. One nomination is great. Two are even better. Take it from Giancarlo Esposito, who is up for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series for the role of Gus Fring on Better Call Saul.
He's also nominated for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series for The Mandalorian. The new Disney Plus series racked up 7 wins this week for its first season.
Yeah, co-host of People, the TV show, Lawrence K. Jackson, caught up with Giancarlo about his epic year. Check this out.
With me, I have the pleasure, and I'm so excited to get a chance to talk with him, Mr. Giancarlo Esposito. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I mean, you've been working, brother. 2 Emmy nominations, one for Better Call Saul and one for The Mandalorian, but they're in the same category for Outstanding Drama Series. Who do you root for in that situation?
Well, I root for them both. I wish we could split it. I do love my work and also the family of filmmakers on Better Call Saul. It's a very different kind of show. And because it has been around for a while and hasn't really coveted many Emmy nominations in terms of best drama, of course I root for them. But on the other side of me, I'm bifurcated, is this wonderful, wonderful new show, Mandalorian, which is such great, incredible technical filmmaking and great writing, and it reminds me very much of a mythological show that you can watch about heroes and villains, but you can watch it with your family. So for me, I'm split right down the middle, but I certainly have my affinity for a show I've been doing for a long time, and I know that Mandalorian is going to claim a bunch of those 18 nominations, but Best Drama is the one to get, so I root for both of my families of filmmakers.
Absolutely. I thought you might say that, so I have a similar question of a different kind. Let's say both win. Which one would have the more fun virtual after party? Who would we kick it with on Zoom for the after party celebration?
Oh, I'd have to go with Mando. Because their after party celebration will be technically sound. It'll give you a light sound and musical experience. It's such a space odyssey. Being a part of the Star Wars family. So I would take their after party.
Okay. Wow. You have a real way of playing a villain, but to me, a likable villain. What was the difference playing 2 of these villains? Do you approach them the same? Is there a difference between the 2 of them?
There's a huge difference. In my work on Better Call Saul, I feel like Gustavo Fring is an iconic character after having been seen on Breaking Bad. Very vicious, very cold, very cruel, but yet you like him because he looks out for his family of business. A very, very nefarious character, but also very polite and very gracious. So I worked on playing him in a very different way than I played any other villain in my life. Star Wars, our Moff Gideon character, is a guy who's very, militaristic in many ways. He could be here to save the universe. He could be here to get what he can for himself or the people that he's working with. We don't know that yet. So he's also a very big mystery, but he's a no-nonsense kind of guy. He will bring his lightsaber to the party. Gustavo Fring will come and he will take in the information and calculate what his next move is, and he'll go away, and the next thing you know, you'll probably be dead. So very, very different personalities, whereas Moff Gideon will take you out right on the spot.
Absolutely. Speaking of Gideon and The Mandalorian, season 2 is coming next month. You guys luckily wrapped filming before COVID really took off the way it has. But what are you looking for people to look forward to with this next season of The Mandalorian, which has 15 nominations, I might add?
The next season of Mandalorian is going to be very interesting because you're going to start to find out the power of the child, what the child really means. You will also start to uncover the origins of the dark saber that Moff Gideon has and how that plays into previous Star Wars history connected to the Clone Wars and other shows. And you'll start to get a real dramatic sense of the territory. We're living in a universe that is, just huge and so much to explore. So I think this show is going to start to lay the groundwork for the depth and breadth that's going to come in season 3 and season 4, where you're really going to start to get answers.
Thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it, brother.
And I'm in deep gratitude for you having me. Thank you.
All right, moving on. We are still not okay since fan favorite comedy series Schitt's Creek came to an end earlier this year. What a loss.
Okay, the final season earned a whopping 15 Emmy nominations this year and already nabbed 2 wins for Outstanding Casting for a Comedy Series and Outstanding Contemporary Costume.
Well deserved. Meanwhile, the entire Rose family, Catherine O'Hara, Eugene Levy, Dan Levy, and Annie Murphy received acting nods tonight. Can't wait to see if any of them walk away winners. Hopefully they do.
That's totally going to happen. Let's hear from them right now. After 6 seasons portraying these characters, they're revealing what they'll miss the most.
I think I'll miss the paychecks most of all. Kidding, of course. I would say it's kind of the same thing. It's just been such a joyous experience for the past 6 years working with this group. We've got an amazing cast and an amazing group of writers and a great production team, and it was so much fun to come to work every day.
There's my TV star. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
Nervous?
No, I'm good.
I'll miss the crew and all the rest of the cast, too, of course. Having a fun role to play and getting to play ridiculous at my age.
I mean, they stole all my answers.
I was waiting for you to say nothing.
No, nothing. I'm free.
This party is going to be
It's not a party.
awesome.
It's not a party.
So
It's not
much
a party.
fun. I'm so excited.
Schitt's Creek is a pretty idyllic place to live, and I think it's shown people across the world that if you embrace people's differences and support people for their differences and ultimately empathize with people instead of turning on people, that you're only going to be left with a positive experience and a really supportive and incubative place to develop yourself and find yourself.
Oh, I love them so much. If you haven't watched that show, watch it. All right, time for another Instagram check. Zendaya posting this glam look to her stories. All right, McCall.
Twirl, darling, Gone with the Wind, fabulous. She looks great. That's probably Laura, her stylist, who did that, and she is just killing it. Now, she's nominated for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series for Euphoria. No matter what happens tonight, that right there, my friends, that's an award-winning look, okay? Now, one show making Emmys history this year is HBO's Watchmen. The series scored 26 nominations, so incredible, making it the most nominated series, and it already has 7 wins.
People going crazy for this. It's also up for a bunch of acting nominations tonight, including one for Outstanding Lead Actress in a limited series for the one and only Regina King. We love her. Regina was one of Entertainment Weekly's Entertainers of the Year in 2019. We learned from her what she thought when she first saw the script for Watchmen.
The first time I read the script for Watchmen, I immediately was blown because I'm like, I've never seen a story like this before, read a story like this before, and I have definitely never seen this woman before. As a Black actor, we're so often trying to fight to get roles that aren't based on being Black. For this particular show, she has to be Black, but she's in her Blackness in such a powerful way. Episode 6 is a emotional roller coaster, and our cast and crew were already very close because we'd spent almost at this point like 7 months together. It brought us closer. I mean, I am doing really well right now because this is the first time I have not gotten emotional thinking about that moment in time for us. Everything about it is just magical and heartbreaking at the same time.
All right, Black Girl Magic. And that episode of Watchmen earned actor Jovan Adepo his first Emmy nomination for his portrayal of Officer Will Reeves and the Hood of Justice. PeopleTV's Andrea Belke spoke with Jovan about reuniting with Regina King, his powerful performance, and his reaction to being nominated. Watch.
I'm nervous. It's it being my first nomination, but I'm really honored and proud to be able to share this nomination with my contemporaries, and I'm excited just for the event.
I mean, the show is so good. Watchmen is the most nominated show of the year with 26 nominations. Got you your first Emmy nomination. What was going through your mind when you got the call, when you realized that you were nominated?
Oh man, I didn't even think it was real. I had gotten a text message. I have a 5-month-old puppy. So I woke up as normal that morning and took him outside, and then I fell back asleep for a couple hours, and it was the costume designer of the Watchmen series that actually texted me and said congratulations, and I thought that she meant as a show, and so I responded and I was like, congratulations to you as well, but she was like, no, sweetheart, you got a nomination. I think you should wake up. If it's still early over there, you should check the internet. And once I found that out, I went crazy and called my parents, and it was just, I couldn't even describe it, what that feeling was like.
So you got a new puppy, a new Emmy nomination. What would a win tonight mean for you?
Oh man, I think the nomination itself was such an honor for me, and it was just such a blessing to have. But the win, I mean, it'd just be a great experience to kind of witness that this was a grand validation from my peers, and it would just be a great moment to shine on Watchmen, because I think everyone who was involved worked really hard on it, and it was an important piece of entertainment, and just to be a part of it was a great experience for me.
Yeah, and I think important is a really key word, because it covers incredible topics that everyone should be watching and paying attention to. Your big episode is a standout, takes place in the past, but most of the show is in modern day, and it focuses on important topics like racial injustice, police brutality. How important is it for you to be a part of a project like this, especially given the state of America today?
Well, I think if you have an opportunity to play a character that speaks towards the current social climate, I think that's something that you should always consider. I've been fortunate to have participated in The Watchmen, but also doing that with When They See Us last year. And it's just, you find these stories about people who have maybe been misrepresented, and you want to take it upon yourself, if you're able to shed light on those stories. So I was, again, really honored to be able to participate.
Yeah, and I've read some interesting things. You wanted to do as much of the episode as one continuous take. There's also, without giving too much away, because everyone needs to watch your episode, but Regina's character is hallucinating. So the blocking for that, she's in the same spot. So can you walk me through the process of how you actually shot this? Was she on set with you when you were filming?
Every time I was on set, she was on set. And it was literally just tons of rehearsal, because it was one of those things where as soon as it was time for us to kind of switch perspectives, the camera was gonna go away for maybe 2 seconds, and I needed to be out of the seat or whatever position I was in completely so that Regina could take my place. And it took a couple of tries to get it, but once we found the rhythm, I think it kind of just went along pretty smoothly.
Okay, but did that add more pressure, having her there watching every take that you did?
Of course it did, and I'm pretty sure that I messed up a couple of takes. Like we would get through like a 3 or 4 page scene, and then they would pan back, and you'd see like my shoe sticking out in the corner under the curtain or something, and they'd be like, "We have to cut and start over." But it was fun, and me and Regina have built a relationship over these past few years working together, and so we trusted each other, and I was really excited to get a chance to work with her again after working with her previously on The Leftovers.
Yes, you were great on The Leftovers with her. And then you had this reunion, which doesn't really happen. Damon actually made, and he actually brought you guys together, which is rare for him. What's something we'd be surprised to know or learn about Regina?
Just how funny she is. She's one of the funniest people I know. And I'm sure many people know how down to earth she is, but I definitely say her sense of humor is up there with some of the funniest people that I've ever met in my life. And, when it comes time to do the work, of course, as a professional and as a legend that she is, she's just ready to hop back into it. She takes every single scene, no matter how, no matter how random the scene is, she takes it incredibly seriously, as all artists should. So I definitely look up to her and the work that she's done.
You're nominated for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Limited Series or Movie, alongside 2 of your co-stars.
Yes.
So even though you weren't acting in the scene with them, there's different timelines here. Have you gotten to talk to them, congratulate them? Is there some friendly competition going on?
Of course, I got a chance to talk to them. I was lucky enough to get to participate in some panels with Yaya and Mr. Gossett, and I don't think it's a matter of having a bit of friendly competition. I think naturally, because of the circumstances, it is. But no, I think that we've all put our love and our hard work into this project, and both Mr. Gossett and Yaya did phenomenal work this year on Watchmen. So I think whoever wins tonight, even if it's Dylan or Jim, I think it's a great year for diversity, and it's a great year for great television. And so I'm just honored to be a part of that.
Well, Javon, thank you so much for chatting with us. Congratulations again. You're such a treat, and it's really nice to talk to you.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Shout out to Eric O's for this Cavani suit.
Yes, now head over to ABC to see who wins big at this year's Emmy Awards. Good night, everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
Yes,
Happy Emmys.
Cheers.